Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name's Benson. What's yours? We're going to talk about food today, ladies and gentlemen, from a bariatric standpoint, and we're going to tie it right on into Walt Disney World, specifically Toy Story Land. And the reason we're going to talk about that is I'm a bariatric patient. I've lost a lot of weight in the last year, thank heavens, and I've got more to go, and it's being able to visit these parks and understand what kind of food is in the park, or if I need to take anything with me, is very, very important to my success. So if you are a bariatric patient, this is here to help you with your success on your journey, because we all know it's a rough journey, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna succeed. We're gonna kick its butt all the way through. So we're gonna talk specifically about Toy Story Land, because we did have a chance to eat at Andy's Lunchbox, which is in Toy Story Land. So from a bariatric standpoint, this place has a lot of carbs. Stay away from the pastries. They're absolutely just loaded with sugar. I sampled one and it totally made my stomach hurt for like a good hour. Now, keeping in mind that, like I said, I sampled a little bit of everything that was on the menu aside for some of the drinks. Now, the only thing that we didn't sample off the menu was the 3 cheese grilled cheese, and that's just because it's a grilled cheese. It doesn't matter what really kind of cheese they put into it. If it's not a cheese you like, you're not gonna like it, and it doesn't tell you what 3 cheeses they put on it. So it could just be American 3 ways with a slight change in flavor. But we did try the other stuff. So they had a turkey sandwich on multi-grain bread. They had a sliced beef brisket, which had, and it was on like Texas toast, buttery Texas toast, and it had cheese and barbecue sauce on it. The turkey sandwich had tomato, lettuce, and mayonnaise on it. Then we got a side of the tomato bisque, a side of the pasta salad, and then we got the tostachos, that's what they're called, tostachos. And that's basically just crispy tater tots, or potato barrels, as Walt Disney World calls them. And it's got like nacho servings. It's had like taco meat, cheese. It even had like little crispy corn tortilla pieces, which I kind of thought were pointless, but that's whatever. It had green chives, sour cream, and I think that's it. So, keeping in mind, every single thing I just mentioned had a carb or some kind of heavy carb in it. The pasta salad is all noodles. All the sandwiches have bread. The bisque, to thicken a bisque, you usually use flour or cornstarch, and that's a carb in of itself. That's probably the least carby item that was on that menu, and you don't want to eat that unless it's freezing cold, and that doesn't happen very often in Florida. Probably the healthiest item is going to be the turkey sandwich. They do put a lot of sliced turkey on it, and it's on multi-grain bread. So if you're going to eat a carb, it's always good to eat a good carb, and multi-grain bread is it usually is a good carb. And I say usually because if they just have like the cheapest multi-grain bread, then 75% of it's probably going to be regular white bread, and it's just enough multi-grain in it to call it multi-grain. So from a bariatric standpoint, I don't think I'd ever eat here again. There's just too many carbs, and there's not enough protein there. The brisket only had a few slices of brisket on it. So if I was to pull off the bread and throw it away and just eat the brisket, you're only getting about 2 little slices of brisket for about $13, I believe was the price, roughly. And then the turkey sandwich was $9, and it may have been a couple ounces of turkey. So if you were to get rid of the bread, there's not a lot there. So I definitely say, go in there. If you want to absolutely try something, buy something and split it with somebody else, and just make sure you bring you like another high protein snack into the park with you, or bring you a protein shake to drink afterwards, so that you're getting that protein level and you're not just consuming only carbs, because it's, like I said, it's very carb heavy. It's delicious. Again, I tried everything on the menu. I had a bite of everything and it was all good. The turkey sandwich was just a standard turkey sandwich. The brisket was probably the tastiest thing in my opinion. The pasta salad's light and refreshing. The tostachos were really good, but they are dangerously good because it makes you kind of want to eat all of it, and there's no way, because it's just gonna ruin your stomach from a bariatric standpoint, because there's a lot of like starches and carbs, and it was kind of greasy, so you have to be careful with all of that. Lord knows you don't want to be running to the bathroom into Walt Disney World because you ate the wrong thing. So I would say if you absolutely want to try something there, eat off of somebody else who's with you in your party. Just have a couple bites and then make sure you bring something specifically that you can have. Because I know, like, that's kind of a weird thing for some people. It's even something still that my wife is getting used to, where we go somewhere to eat and I don't eat and she does, and there's that awkwardness to it for a lot of people. So I would say bring you something to snack on, or something that looks like a meal you can eat. They make a lot of different things you can carry. Beef jerky. They make these, I think the Lunchables company makes like a P3 little lunch pack. You know, bring a protein shake, something that's good for you, that's not going to ruin your day in the park by eating all the really, really carb heavy stuff, and just kind of sample whatever they have. But other than that, that's the only thing about Andy's Lunchbox, is that it's so carb heavy, and there's not like a carb free option that's really worth its money. I mean, you could, like I said, you could order those things and not get bread, but then you're spending a whole lot of money. For instance, the turkey sandwich is about $10. For $10, you could buy about 4 pounds of turkey in the lunch meat section, and you'd just be eating lunch meat, because it's just lunch meat turkey. And same thing with brisket. It's a $14, you know, brisket. Go find you a barbecue place and get you some brisket and carry it in a bag with you, if that's what you're really after. I know it's not the same. It's not the same experience because you're in the park and you want to try the park stuff, but there are other places in that park that have a little bit more healthier options or lower carb options. And that's just my opinion. I'm just trying to kind of give you a heads up if you haven't been to the park and you're going and you have bariatric surgery or gastric bypass and you have those kind of concerns. These are just my opinions. I'm just kind of giving you something to keep in mind when you're going, something to know before you get there. Definitely make sure you stock up on protein items that you can take into the park with you, and bring you a reusable water bottle, because you are going to sweat. And we all know getting, like, for me, I'm supposed to get 100 ounces of water in a day. So it's a lot, and you got to be drinking constantly, especially in those parks. So this is just me, Benson, giving you my experience post gastric bypass surgery and what it's like to kind of go to the parks. To be quite honest, I could probably walk around that entire park all day and not eat a single time, because once my mind's going and I'm doing all kinds of crazy stuff, I'm not thinking about eating and I don't get hungry, and I have to force myself to do it, or Kristen has to tell me, hey, you need to eat, you haven't eaten all day, or hey, the kids are hungry, let's go eat. And other than that, I would completely forget about it. But just make sure you're taking care of yourself even while you're having fun, because you know you don't want to ruin your vacation because you didn't keep enough protein with you or water with you. So these are just my thoughts, trying to make it easier for you to visit the parks, and I hope you enjoyed them. If you've had gastric bypass and you have any other questions about other places in there, there's a few other places I've eaten there. I've got a couple of videos for them. I'll try and link the playlist somewhere, so you can check out the other places we've eaten. But if you've got any other questions about gastric bypass and visiting the parks, or gastric bypass and my journey, or if you haven't had gastric bypass and you've got any questions you'd like to ask about my experience, go ahead, drop them in the comments below, or there's an email attached to the page. I believe it's like andstufflikeThatvideos@gmail.com, I think. It's usually in the description, I believe. Go there, send me an email, and I'll answer those privately if you prefer them privately. But ask away. I enjoy answering them. They're a big highlight to my day, is interacting with all of you. So do that, and we'll talk some more. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, though. I hope you enjoyed my little review of Andy's Lunchbox. Have you tried Andy's Lunchbox? Did you like Andy's Lunchbox? Did you think the price was worth the experience, basically, because that's mostly what you're getting? I thought it was okay, but I just didn't think it was worth what I got. So just me, just my little opinion. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sharing and subscribing and hanging out with me. I love you guys. Till tomorrow.